You clock in at 8:47. 13 minutes late, which is unusual for you. Your manager notices but says nothing. You've been here 19 years. 13 minutes doesn't register the way it once did. You hang your coat on the hook behind your chair. The same hook. You put it there on your first week and nobody moved it, and so it became yours by default, the way most things in an office become yours, not by choice, but by repetition. Your coffee is already cold by the time you sit down. Today is your last day and nobody in this building knows. The number is $2.3 million. You've checked it 4 times this morning, not because you don't believe it, because checking it is the only ritual you have for something this large. It sits in a brokerage account attached to a name that is yours and a balance that still doesn't feel like it belongs to the same person who drove to work this morning in a 2011 Hyundai Sonata with a heating vent that rattles when the temperature drops below 40 degrees. The vent rattled the whole way here. You started this job at 25. The salary was $34,000 and you thought that was enough, which tells you something about where you started. Your parents rented. Your father worked a route for a beverage distributor for 31 years. When he retired, the company gave him a card with 22 signatures and a gift card to a steakhouse. He put it in his wallet and carried it for 8 months before he used it. You know this because you were with him the night he finally spent it. He ordered the second cheapest thing on the menu. Old habits. You watched him do that and filed it somewhere. The first $10,000 you saved took 4 years. Not because you were careless. Because $34,000 does not leave much room for saving when rent exists, and the car needs tires, and your mother's prescription changed and her coverage didn't follow the change the way it was supposed to. You covered the gap. You didn't tell her you were doing it. She would have argued. The argument would have cost more than the prescription. So you just handled it. That's the part that doesn't have a name. The handling. The quiet absorbing of things before they become problems other people have to see. You got good at it early and then it became a habit and then it became a kind of identity, someone who handles things without requiring an audience for the handling. The $10,000 became $40,000. The $40,000 became the first index fund contribution, automatic, $200 a month, set up on a Tuesday in 2009 when the market had just dropped 38% and everyone around you was pulling money out, and you read something that said that was exactly the wrong move and you decided, without telling anyone, to do the opposite. Nobody congratulated you. Nobody knew. 19 years of that. Of the transfer running quietly in the background while life ran loudly in the foreground. The promotion that took 6 years longer than it should have. The 3 years when the market did nothing and the account felt like a waiting room with no appointment scheduled. The year your brother needed $7,000 and you sent it without hesitation and he paid back $2,000 and then went quiet about the rest and you let it go because the friendship was worth more than the number and you knew that even when it stung. The $200 became $400. The $400 became $900. Raises absorbed partially into life and partially into the account, every time, without drama, without a spreadsheet anyone else ever saw. At 38, the account crossed $1 million for the first time. You were in the break room. The vending machine was out of the thing you wanted, which was a small enough frustration that you almost laughed. You opened your phone to check something else and the balance was just there. 7 figures. The vending machine hummed. Someone microwaved something that smelled like tomato soup. You put your phone in your pocket and got water instead. You did not tell anyone. Not your wife. Not immediately. That came 3 days later, on a Saturday morning, over coffee, quietly. She looked at the number on the screen. She put the cup down. She said nothing for a moment and then she said, "So what do we do now?" Not a question exactly. More like the beginning of a thought she hadn't finished yet. You said, "Nothing yet. We let it run." She nodded. She understood you better than anyone, and so she understood that the plan had always been a number, not a date. That the retirement was never going to announce itself. It was going to arrive the way everything in your life had arrived, without ceremony, in the middle of something ordinary, while the vending machine hummed. The number you agreed on was $2 million. Then the market moved and the $2 million became $2.30 in ways that felt passive, almost accidental, like finding money in a coat you hadn't worn since last winter. You checked the account on a Monday night after dinner and the $2.30 was there and you sat with it long enough to know that the feeling wasn't coming. Not the surge, not the exhale, not the before and after seam you'd been waiting to feel. Just a number on a screen. Just you in a kitchen in a house you've owned for 11 years with a heating vent that rattles in the car and a coat on a hook at work that 19 years of mornings have made quietly yours. You submitted the resignation letter 4 weeks ago. HR processed it without fanfare. Your manager asked if everything was okay. You said yes. He asked if you were going somewhere. You said you were going to take some time. He nodded in the way people nod when they think they understand something they don't quite understand, and then he moved on to the next item on his agenda. Today there is cake in the conference room. Someone organized it. The cake says, "Happy Retirement," in blue frosting with an exclamation mark that feels like it belongs to a different story than yours. You eat a piece because the moment requires it. People say things. Good things, warm things. Someone calls you one of the good ones and you feel the truth of it and the strangeness of it at the same time, because you spent 19 years here and you are leaving and the budget meeting scheduled for Thursday will happen without you and the project you handed off last week will continue and the building will open at 8 and close at 6 and your coat hook will be available for whoever needs it next. Nothing will pause. You think about your father's card with the 22 signatures. You wonder if he stood in that break room feeling what you're feeling now, not ingratitude, not disappointment, just the specific strangeness of a day that the calendar calls significant and the body calls Tuesday. At 4:45 you take the coat off the hook for the last time. You don't linger. Lingering would require an audience, and the whole architecture of your life has been built without one. The money moved quietly. The account grew quietly. The decision was made quietly, on a Saturday morning over coffee, in a voice that didn't need to be loud because the two people in the room already knew what was true. You walk to the parking garage. The Hyundai is where you left it. The heating vent will rattle on the way home. Tomorrow morning you will not set an alarm and the absence of the alarm will feel like the first concrete evidence that something has actually changed. But tonight you will drive home the same way you came. Same road, same car, same vent. Your wife is making dinner. She doesn't know today was the day, technically. You never told her the exact date. It didn't seem to need one. You'll walk in and she'll look up and something in your face will tell her and she'll turn the heat down on the stove and come over and she won't say anything for a moment because she has 19 years of evidence that you handle things without requiring an audience and she loves you in a way that has always made space for that. She'll ask what you want to do now. And the honest answer, the one you've been carrying since the Monday night with the number on the screen and the kitchen quiet around you, is that you don't entirely know. The plan was always the number. You built toward the number for 19 years. The number is here. What you haven't quite solved for is what the person who built it does on a Wednesday with nowhere to be. You start the engine. The vent rattles. You drive home.